Good morning. Let's just close our eyes for a second. Just feel into our sacrum, feel into our feet on the floor. Feel into this alchemical process that is happening around us, through us, and with us all the time. Uh, we've burned away what didn't need to be there, and we added the water of dissolving dissolution to separate all the materials into their specific parts and pieces. Yeah, we're in separation now. Separation has lots of contexts. I remember like separation of my parents when I was a kid and how discombobulating that was, and how actually once it settled out, they were both better for the long run and for us as kids. Um, and this happens in lots of aspects of our lives. I'm in a big place of calcination and dissolution and separation right now, trying to figure out what is the core of this new self that's being born. And I'm watching the waters settle. I'm watching the elements collect at the bottom and their different layers based on their heaviness and their weight in my life. And I see the layers starting to stack up and stack up and stack up. And through that, I'm actually much more able to understand what's really important. Um, yeah, what's really important right now. Community, village, love. What is the actual need for survival? What is the actual need for connection? Um, I'm in the middle of building this temple, and I have to make decisions every day about what is necessary and what is something I really want to see happen now. What can I spend the very limited amount of money I have to manifest in this moment versus what do I have to put off until a year from now when I've raised more money? Um, Doing this in my relationship, um, or whatever it is right now. Um, Looking at all of the fine granular pieces settling at the bottom of the vessel of the love I've created, and what's the core of this? What is the gold? What is the carbon? What is the core materia that has been at the root of this the entire time that I get lost in? Um, I've been thinking a lot about this idea of what is the story and what is the reality. And I feel like in the separation piece, the story starts to fade away and the reality starts to settle to the bottom. And the reality is that there's so much beauty and so much change, and it's fucking uncomfortable. Um, yeah, I find myself wanting to dissociate a lot, and I'm utilizing the tools that I have, the space that I have, and the processes that I have ingrained in me through this temple building process, through 100 other practices that I've worked with over the years to find balance and to not take that fucking vessel and just shake it up so I can see, like, and I can watch everything get cloudy again. I really need everything to settle down in that separation process. And it settles by weight, typically. Like, the heaviest things are going to be at the bottom. They're going to be the core. They're going to be the thickest, hopefully. Or we'll realize that the thing that actually was the core materia of whatever is dissolving and being separated in our lives wasn't actually that important, and that it was more story than it was reality and experience. So that feels like the whole process for me right now is separating what's sensation in my body, what's experience in my life, um, what is the story I've had about the other 17 fucking times this has happened, um, that isn't true anymore. Like, it's not true. It's it's PTSD. It's protection mechanisms. It's parts that have developed strategies to survive over time that aren't necessary anymore, and they're actually creating havoc in my life because they still want to be necessary and useful. And I have to figure out ways to either repurpose those parts, repurpose those understandings into ways that are useful, ways that are actually nourishing me and the relationships around me, or I have to let them go. And so, yeah, but this is the process. This is not the time to start letting things go. This is the time to let everything settle down, and take a long, slow look at what is really there in the layers, and the layers, and the layers, and the layers. Little practice I want to give you: go out in your yard, dig a foot deep hole, and then take a slice of that foot deep hole about an inch wide. Take that take that slice of soil, and it'll have a profile to it. It'll have the topsoil, the where all the roots and everything are, and it'll have other pieces and parts and other pieces and parts. Take that, put it in a mason jar. Clear mason jar, fill it up with water, shake the hell out of it, and then just set it in a windowsill someplace. And you'll see it cloudy and gnarly, and it's all full of dirt. And over the next day or two or three, it'll start to settle out, and you'll start to see, oh, there is layers of sand at the bottom with little pebbles and rocks. There's layers of silt that sit just on top of that layer of sand, and layers of clay that sit right on top of that layer of silt, and there'll be things floating in the waters that are really unnecessary anymore. So yeah, just take that if you can, and think about it. So much love. So much love.